Players who struggle with defending in FC26 usually have one big thing in common: mistiming tackles. And in FC26, that's the most punishable mistake you can make defensively. When you miss a tackle, your defender basically freezes for a second or two, and that tiny delay gives your opponent the perfect chance to break through while your player is completely out of the play. So how do you tackle effectively in FC26? Let's break it down. Need coins? Go to u7buy.com for the cheapest FC26 coins. With over 40,000 positive reviews, trusted by top FC25 creators worldwide, it's the best place to upgrade your team. Use code DRFC at checkout for an extra 8% off. Don't miss out. Need coins? U7buy is your best choice, with code DRFC for 8% off today. Starting with the basics, the jockey tackle. Sometimes when you hold L2 or L2 plus R2 for speed jockey and position yourself properly against the ball carrier, the game will automatically trigger a stand tackle for you. And the best part is, the game usually times this tackle perfectly. Next, we have the stand tackle. You do this by pressing circle on your controller. It works best when you're right in front of the opponent's player. Your defender lunges in confidently, expecting to win the ball back. Then there's the shoulder push. This is when your player uses their body to shove the opponent off the ball. If you're using tactical defending, this animation triggers automatically at the right time when you press circle. But if you're using advanced defending, you have to press X when you're shoulder to shoulder with the opponent. The problem is, in FC26, the animation isn't great and the consistency just isn't reliable. That's why many players have switched back to tactical defending. Still, advanced defending isn't bad, and it might get buffed in upcoming updates. We also have the professional tackle. This is done by pressing R1 plus X on your controller, but you have to be behind the ball carrier for it to work, and make sure the setting is toggled on. Next is the slide tackle. You perform it by pressing circle and your defender dives in. It's most effective when you're approaching from a diagonal angle. You just slide right in front of the ball carrier. Finally, we have the hard stand tackle. This is done by pressing R1 plus circle. Your defender goes in aggressively. But honestly, in FC26, I haven't found it that useful. If you mistime it, it's basically game over. And with how responsive dribbling is this year, it's really easy to miss. Back to tackling. In FC26, tackling is really tricky because dribbling is insanely responsive. Some players feel like they're almost unstoppable, so it's very easy to mistime your tackles. That's why my first tip for tackling is to rely mainly on player positioning. Right now, this is the best way to defend in FC26. But if you still want to tackle, don't worry, we'll break that down. First, let's get the fundamentals right. When we talk about positioning, it simply means putting your defender in the correct spot, right in front of the opponent's player, covering the goal line and blocking the path between the ball and your goalkeeper. As long as you're positioned properly, don't rush to press any tackle button. Just stay patient and focus on mirroring the opponent's movements while mainly protecting your goalkeeper. Once you get close to the opponent while holding jockey or speed jockey, the game will automatically perform a stand tackle for you. And that's perfect, because the game usually dives in at the right time with very little room for error. So focus on learning how to position your defender properly. If you can get into a spot where your defender makes clean contact with the ball, it's basically a guaranteed win. Now, positioning alone is excellent and absolutely recommended in FC26. But let's be real. As players, we've built up years of instincts to press the tackle button. I do it too. It's natural. But now we need to reprogram those instincts. In FC26, tackling is all about patience and timing. Avoid spamming the tackle button recklessly. That will only make you an easy target defensively. One of the best times to tackle is when your opponent makes a heavy touch. So what's a heavy touch? It's when the ball carrier pushes the ball about 2 to 5 yards or more away from their feet. This usually happens when they do a skill move. The exit touch after the skill is often a heavy touch. It can also happen when they sprint. To accelerate, the player kicks the ball 3 or 4 feet ahead to run onto it. And here's the catch. The moment they push the ball away, they lose control for a split second. The ball is in space, not at their feet. So it takes them a little time to catch up and regain control. This is your window as a defender. Keep your eyes on the ball and the opponent's contact. The moment you spot that heavy touch and your defender is close enough, move in and press the tackle button. At that point, the opponent can't do much to keep possession because they've temporarily lost control. Another great moment to press the tackle button is when you're close to the opponent's player. Not just close, but specifically when they're dribbling with the ball in the open. Let me explain what I mean by ball open. When dribbling, there are basically 2 main ways a player can keep the ball safe. First, by dribbling while keeping their player's body between the ball and your defender. This way, they use their body to shield the ball. Second, by dribbling into space, which helps them relieve pressure and stay away from direct tackles. As the defender, keep this in mind. The only ways your opponent can keep the ball safe are by hiding it behind their body and by moving it into space. So if you want to tackle effectively, you need two things. First, make sure there's little to no space between your defender and the ball holder. You need to be close enough so your player can actually make contact with the ball. Second, make sure the opponent is dribbling openly, meaning the ball is positioned between your defender and their player. Even if they're using close control, if the ball is exposed, you can press circle and win it cleanly. Now, I know some players just can't resist. They love to rush in and launch a tackle straight at the opponent. And yeah, it's satisfying when it works, but that's more of a pro defending technique. I don't recommend doing that unless you're confident you'll win the ball. For most players, it's better to master the fundamentals first. And that's it for today's breakdown. If you enjoyed this, make sure to hit the like button. Thanks for watching. Are you ready for FC26? Imagine getting coached by the same people who train the best players in the world. Team Gullit has developed some of the biggest pro players in EAFC, like Manuel Bature, the FC25 world champion, and Emre Yilmaz, the FC25 E-Champions League winner. Now you can get one-on-one coaching from their experts, whether you're a casual player looking to improve or chasing the dream of going pro. What makes Team Gullit coaching special is that this isn't just watching tutorials. A Team Gullit coach analyzes your gameplay, corrects your mistakes, and gives you a clear game plan to dominate your opponents, all through a personalized one-on-one session at an affordable price. And right now, you get 10% off using the link in the description with discount code GETBETTER10.